What's up, MFFLs? Harrison Graham here, back with another episode of Dallas Mavericks Today. Coming up on today's show, hate to go doom and gloom, but 5 free agent targets plus a bonus one that the Mavs could sign in the offseason if Kyrie Irving were to walk in NBA free agency. I still, at this point in time, think he'll re-sign, but obviously a lot of things can change over the next few months. Now, pending free agents for Dallas include Kyrie Irving, Christian Wood, Dwight Powell, Justin Holiday, Markieff Morris, Theo Pinson, Frank Ntilikina, and McKinley Wright, who is a restricted free agent. Obviously, Irving's going to be the big talking point, Christian Wood a little bit as well. So we will see how that plays out. Listen, the Mavs have fallen on hard times, but we've been here before, and you got to bounce back. That's just how it goes. So help us bounce back by subscribing to the channel. Join the fam. If you're a true MFFL, you will subscribe today, and we will continue to plug out several videos per week. All right, let's take a look at some potential options at point guard / two guard if Kyrie were to walk. How about D'Angelo Russell, who is actually having a pretty good year? I liked the splits he was putting up in Minnesota and early on with the Lakers. It's too early to say how he's going to fit in there, but 17.5 points, good shooting splits, 46.5%, 39% from three. It can dish as well. He can play off ball too, which I like. Now, he doesn't defend at all, but to be fair, neither does Kyrie Irving. But I like D'Lo. I think he's matured. I don't think he's a true number 2. I think he's probably more of a number 3 on a contending team. But I think as a fallback option, you could certainly do a lot worse than D'Angelo Russell. Next up is Fred VanVleet from the Toronto Raptors, a player I've always been a fan of. But in fairness, he has not been great this year. He does have a player option, which I do kind of wonder if he'll opt in. Now, he's averaging 19.5 points per game, which you're like, okay, 7 assists, 4.5 boards, that's pretty good. Well, he's shooting 39% from the field and 34% from three, both below league average in terms of field goal and three-point percentage. But he's a pro. He knows how to play. He's been on contending teams for a while. Now, Toronto the last year and a half or so has kind of fallen off a bit, but VanVleet has been a championship piece before, and I think in the right situation could again. Could you get him for a little bit cheaper than you would expect because he's coming off a down year? We'll see. I think his opt-in, what is it, like 18, 20 million, something like that, Coop. So if he opts out, he's probably going to want at least 20 million on a long-term deal. That could be kind of right on the border on what the Mavs would be willing to pay if Kyrie does walk. Now, who do you guys think is the better option? If you think it's Fred VanVleet, type FVV. If you think it's D'Angelo Russell, type D'Lo. Get your comments going down below. How about Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's certainly more of a shooting guard, but can handle a little bit. He's got a player option as well with Atlanta. I do think he will opt out because I think he can get a pay raise. The Mavs have had interest in Bogdanovic before because he's a damn good shooter. I mean, he really could score the basketball. 40% three-point shooter this year, averaging about 15 a game. I think is like a complimentary piece. He's fits in just about anywhere because he can catch and shoot, he can handle a bit, can play multiple positions, 2-3 hybrid there. So he's a name to monitor potentially on the free agent market, so keep him in mind. BetUS sponsoring today's episode of Dallas Mavericks Today, and if you want to make money by betting on sports, BetUS is the place to do it because they're going to give you that 125% deposit bonus when you sign up. So all you got to do, sign up today, chatsports.com/MFFL. Put in $100, use the promo code MFFL. They'll give you $125 for free with that deposit bonus. BetUS, if you're confident in the Mavs against the Sixers tonight, go put your money where your mouth is. How about this, Coop? The over, because this team doesn't defend much these days. So gas the over if you want to make some money tonight. Joel Embiid might drop 50. Caris LeVert is next up here, the guard out of Cleveland, who's kind of in an interesting spot now. I mean, he's certainly not probably playing as big of a role as he thought he would be there because obviously they went out and got Donovan Mitchell. They've got Darius Garland, obviously. So I think LeVert is a prime candidate to leave Cleveland. I think him going elsewhere makes sense. He's a good defender, which I like. He's got good size as a guard, so he could be someone that I would be interested in on this team. He can handle, too, and I think that's important with any of these guys. If you do lose Kyrie, I mean, you got to get ball handlers because without Kyrie, I mean, it's kind of like then it's Jaden Hardy and Josh Green, obviously, but you certainly would need someone else who can handle the rock. Now, will the Mavs land a big-time free agent? The annual question that usually results in for no. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Is this the year that the Mavericks land someone? And honestly, at this point, if they re-signed Kyrie, that's a yes, and I guess we'd have to count it, and one there. So Y for yes and for no. Yes, SEO god Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, obviously, he's not going to give you a ton of ball handling, but he's a wing who's improved as a scorer over time. He's got good athleticism. He's a passable defender. He's better than Tim Hardaway, who's fallen off a cliff defensively. It was never great, but my God, he gets put in a turnstile every night now. But Kelly Oubre is an explosive guy attacking the rim. He's got a bit of a mid-range game, the occasional knockdown three as well. Still young enough, and, as a guy who could either start or come off the bench, could certainly be a interesting piece to bring on board. Now, the ultimate wild card for free agency next year is Khris Middleton, who, when fully right, I think would be a great fit with Luka Doncic. He's a two-way player. Now, he's been hurt a lot this year, and when he has played, he hasn't shot the ball that well, but it's a small sample size. But you think of the Bucks run to a championship a few years ago. Don't get me wrong, Giannis was the engine to that team, but Khris Middleton closed a lot of those games with his isolation ability. Now, again, his splits this year have not been pretty, but I think he's only played in about 19 games, there you go, this year. I'll be curious to see how he plays in the postseason because at times they run ISO through him in crunch time because he's obviously a better jump shooter than Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I'll be interested to see if he opts out because it's $35.5 million. With him having a bad year this year, does he just opt in and take that? He might. Or if he kind of catches wind that another big payday could be coming, then maybe he opts out, and a team like Dallas, played his college ball at Texas A&M, could be someone that is interested. Now, name your dream free agent target for the Dallas Mavericks. Drop his name down below. And you can mention Kyrie if you just want to keep this thing rolling or get this thing rolling because it hasn't been rolling since the trade happened. Drop his name down below, or if you want someone else, you can go ahead and shout him out as well. All right, that's it for Dallas Mavericks today. Big game tonight. Look, if they could just win a game, right? Like, beat a good team in the Sixers tonight. Get this thing going a little bit. If this team makes the playoffs, like, teams aren't going to want to face Kyrie and Luka. They just got to get there and find a little bit of momentum here. So if you're still hopeful, type MFFL down below. Go Mavs tonight. And producer Coop's going to have a post-game short, I believe, that goes on the channel. He'll give his instant analysis. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys soon here on the channel.